Hi, family. Welcome to the second episode of The Roots of Money. I'm so excited to deliver the second episode. We've made it this far. Poo, 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 poo. All right. So, on a real case, people are struggling with debt, they are drowning in debt. So, today I want to look at the debt and I want to look at the strategies that we can use to get out of debt. I would look at everything that you guys need to know, from the good debts, bad debts, consolidation, debt counseling. I would look at strategies, of paying off debt. I would look at everything. I hope this is going to help you. I hate to see people having debts because it means their life is stagnant. They can't do anything. This debt is just here on their throat. So they can't do literally anything because, they have debt. They can't even get a house. Some they can't get you know, a car. There's some they are, this is the painful part, by the way. Some they are blacklisted. They can't do anything. So that is so bad. I want to help you to get out of debt. I want to help you, to not being blacklisted. All right. So where do we start? We start with defining what is a good debt, what is a bad debt. So let's dive deep. A good debt is borrowing money to invest in a small business for education purposes, so gaining a skill, and number three, to pay for a real estate. Let's talk about real estate. It's even better if the real estate is a residential real estate, for rental. It's even better. So good debt is when you are making money. You borrow money to make more money, to start businesses, to invest, to make money, in whatever that you can buy, either asset, commodities, whatever that can bring back that money. So the idea behind it is you use other people's money, you use institutions' money to make money. So meaning you use a bank money to buy whatever that you need, and then you don't even have to pay, from your hard-earned money. That particular asset will pay itself. It will pay for itself from that profit, that is getting from the asset itself. You may pay maybe initially when you are still starting, you may pay from your own money. However, as time goes by, it needs to pay for itself. So that is an asset. So ideally, a good debt is money that you borrow and it needs to pay for itself. It's money that you borrow to buy assets that will make you even more money. So you make money with other people's money. You didn't use your money to make money. I hope it's clear. Let's look at the bad debt, which is the bad one. Oh, it's credit card, believe it or not. You know the credit cards that we have, they are normally bad credit. And let me tell you why they are called that. It's because of their insane interest rate. They are just crazy. When you think about it, it's a lot of money. And number two, people use it to buy liabilities. They use that, to fund their lifestyle and all of that. Hence, it's called a bad debt. I will explain when you can use a credit card to buy, an asset or something like that. Then you can quickly turn that into a good debt. But normally, categorically, a credit card is normally considered as a bad debt because of how people use it. Generally, people just use it to fund their lives, their lifestyle, pay for petrol, buy food, restaurants and all of that, go to vacations and all of that. Hence, that's why it falls under a bad debt. It can be a good debt again if you buy assets with it. But I know a lot of people don't do that. Let's look at the second thing, auto loans. So a loan to buy a car is a bad debt. So when you go to a bank and borrow money to buy a car, that is a bad debt. Why? Because a car is a liability. A car can be smashed the minute you get out of the garage, but you still have to pay for that car. Number two, the car deteriorates over time. The car, it loses its value. So you are not actually making money, you are losing more money. You need to fix this car, you need to buy petrol, you need to pay for insurance, you need to pay, for this loan back. So it is a liability. Money keeps on going out, it's not coming back in. That is the number two. Number three, the retail cards that we get. I won't mention the stores, but those credit cards that we get, that they tell us that it has 500 rand, or it has 1,000 rand, or whatever money in the credit card. Those are bad debts, because you are buying liabilities, you are buying clothes, you are buying food. Those things are not making you money, so it's bad debt, unfortunately. Number three, personal loans are bad debt. If you take a loan, it is a bad debt. The reason why people take a personal loan is because they want to fund whatever that they want to do, and normally it is a bad debt. It's a personal loan, and it has a high interest rate as well, hence it's a bad debt. Lastly, loan sharks, borrowing money from kamakhelwane, borrowing money from umambani, and they give you about 30%, 50%, 40%. That is crazy interest. Think about it. You borrow 5,000 rand, and then you need to pay that 5,000 rand with maybe 3,000 more. Yo, guys, why do you do that? So those are things that are really, really hurting people. So those are bad debts. Done explaining what is good debt and bad debt. I hope now you know if you are getting yourself into good or bad debt, what are you doing and what are they. Now let's look at the strategies that you now need to, deploy now that you are in debt. You are already in debt. It's crazy. You are stressed. Your life is not moving. What can you do to get out of these debts? Let's look at these 11 steps that I'm going to mention here. Number one, very, very crucial. Write them all down. Write all the debts down. So you list down all of them, and then you also list down the money in terms of how much you owe for every debt. And then on the column number 3, you then write the interest rate. If they have an interest rate, you write an interest. If they don't have an interest, maybe you borrowed money from your family member, they don't put an interest, then it's zero interest. But write all of them. When I say all of them, I mean even from families and friends, and formal institutions and informal institutions. Please write them all down. Make sure that you don't leave anything out. The reason why I'm saying this is people, they tend to fool themselves. They want to only pay the debts that that push them. Those creditors that call them every now and then, those are the ones that they want to pay for, and then they forget other people, and you can't borrow other people's money and then you don't pay it, so you have to pay it. So write all of them down. Number 2, select a payment strategy. Debt payment strategy. There are 3 payment strategies. Informal, there are 2, and then I like to add my third one, and let's discuss them. Number 1, it's a snowball method. Number 2, it's avalanche method. Number 3, I call it an emotional method. I will explain them later, but for now, you need to have a method as number 2 of paying those debts that you've listed. Number 3, do not open any loan. Don't inquire even in the bank about any loan, because you will damage your credit score even more. Excuse me. So do not even, go to the bank or to go to any creditor or any institution and borrow money. You are already in debt. So right now, focus on the debts that you have, and then you move on. Don't go to these institutions. Number 4, please monitor your credit score. As you are paying off, please look at your credit score, and I'll tell you why you need to do that. That's a form of motivation for you. That's where you get your motivation. That is where you see with, oh, okay, my credit score is keep on going up. They keep saying that I paid all the debts, and the credit score normally does show you that you have paid on time and all the records. So that is good for you to see whether the creditors are recording down your your payments. It's very good for motivation and also to monitor the payments. And let's go to number 5. Number 5, find another stream of income. This is where we fight with a lot of people. I fight with a lot of people about this one. They are saying, Sisi, where are we going to get another job? Where are we going to get another money? Because we don't have money. So why are you telling us that you must get more money? Can I tell you the reality? For you to quickly finish off your debt, you actually need to make more money. That is actually the fastest and the most logical thing that you can do, is to get another stream of income. It is not easy. I'm not saying you're going to get a job tomorrow, you're going to start a business tomorrow, you're going to get another stream of income tomorrow. I'm just saying, start planning to have another stream of income, because that is the only way you can make money. That is the only way you can quickly finish off your debt, is to actually find another stream of income. By the way, we'll discuss on another episode in terms of how to find that stream of income. But for now, please have it in your head that you can't finish all your debt, especially if you are drowning now. The minute you are drowning, it means you are not doing very well. So that means you need to now look elsewhere to find money. Please think about this one. Number 6. Hey, this one, people don't like doing it, and I'm going to talk about this in one of the points. People do not want to reduce their expenses. You need to sit down and reduce on eating out, on entertainment, on some subscriptions. You have to reduce. Right now, you are not in an advantage situation. You are not in a privileged situation. You really do need to, uh, reduce as much as possible. Sacrifice, cook at home. Don't eat out. Don't do things that you're not supposed to do. Don't go out with friends. Just stay at home and fix your finances. And then once you're sorted, you can do whatever that you want to do again. But next time, make sure that you do them with the budget in place. Anyway, number 7, draw up a budget. First episode was about a budget. I, spoke about it in length in terms of what are the things that you need to put in place. I cannot overemphasize the importance of having a budget. I'm not going to bore you much about it. Please just listen to episode 1. I spoke about a budget in a very, very lengthy way. So please have a budget. Make sure you do things by the book. And then number 8, this one is the internal one. Set up your mental health, set up your mindset. You can't be, doing these things and you are not seeing something wrong with you. The minute you are struggling with finances, it means there's somewhere where you did wrong. Please tap into your guts. Please tap into your emotions. Tap into your expenditure. Everything. Just tap into yourself and ask yourself, am I really doing well financially? Am I being truthful to myself? Is there something that I'm doing wrong that I need to change? Am I doing it for people? What is it that I'm doing wrong in my life that is hurting my finances? I cannot overemphasize the importance of tapping into your heart, tapping into your mind. Really dig deep and find out, why are you in debt and you can't get out of debt? Because the reason why we are here now is because you're drowning. It's another thing when you lost your job and you no longer pay for stuff. Then we can go back to the point of finding another stream of income. you know but if you are really spending and spending and spending, but you are in debt, you are drowning, you are living a huge lifestyle but you are still drowning, that person really needs to dig deep inside and find the problem, and really find out, where did I go wrong with my finances? How did I miss it? Like, what is it that I need to do to get back in order, on my finances? Let's go to number 9. Let's go to number 9. Read books about personal finance and investments and businesses. This is where you now need motivation. You need to listen to more people who are talking about money, who are talking more about strategies of making money, of starting businesses and all of that. You need motivation. You need podcasts like this. You need to watch more YouTube videos. You need to read more books around money. Why? Because they will motivate you and they'll spark an idea in your head to say, oh, okay, you know what, I can actually do this. Oh, I can start this. You'll be motivated to pay. You'll also be motivated to find that stream of income. I cannot ever overemphasize the importance, you know, of reading books, of listening to podcasts, of having a mentor, someone to guide you, to help you, and also to make sure that you follow everything that you have listed down or committed yourself to do. Let's go to number 10. Use reward cards. I spoke about this on my episode 1. I said, please take advantage of reward cards. I'm not again gonna bore you about it. You can go on episode 1 and listen to what I said about using reward cards. But the advantage that I can quickly say is you'll be using free money. These reward cards, they have money. The minute you swipe them, there's some money. It's not a lot, but it's money that keeps on getting in. You know, by the time you know it, you have 100 rand, you have 200 rand, you have 500 rand, you have 1,000 rand. I know a lady on Twitter who paid for Twitter using a FNB reward points. What is it called? E-bucks. He used e-bucks to pay for a Twitter subscription. Where did that come from? It came from, you know, keep swiping and swiping and swiping and getting those points, accumulating those points. You can look at this as like a small nyana thing, but I can tell you now, there are people who capitalizes a lot on this. And there's an episode that I'll do on just talking about reward points and apps that you can use, you know, to make money while you are swiping. We'll talk about it on another episode. And then lastly, apply for a job elsewhere, because it could happen that the current job that you are in is not paying you enough money to cover all your debt. You need a raise. Please look into upgrading the job that you are in. Find another job or study more, improve your skills. So if maybe you are in a junior position, you know take a course that will get you maybe to be promoted to be maybe a supervisor, to be a manager, to be a branch, a manager or anything of that sort. You can only get that by upscaling the skills, by improving your skills. I cannot overemphasize this, guys. We know everywhere you only get a certain position or promotion when you have been in a business for a certain period of time, so you have experience or you have relevant qualifications. Please apply for better jobs. I cannot overemphasize that one. All right, so let's look at the advantages of loan or debt consolidation. Advantage first, right? The advantage is you will no longer get calls, you will no longer get harassed by creditors. Everything will be done by the company that is helping you with that collection or debt review or debt consolidation. That company is the one now that will deal with the creditors. When you just deal with them directly, and they will deal with all the creditors that you have. So by the act of National Credit Act, legally they cannot take your assets. They cannot do anything now that this is under a debt review and the debt collector is representing you. That's the advantage of it. Now let's look at the disadvantage of debt collectors and debt review. It damages your credit score. It will show that you don't have the capability of paying debt yourself. You now need to source a third party to help you to pay your debt. Your debts. That is not good for you, to show that you can't handle that. You now need to find someone else to help you to do that. So it's not good for that. Number two, you add fees. You actually pay more fees on these debt consolidation companies because they now represent you. Remember, they wouldn't represent you if they were not only also getting money from this whole deal. They are making money, believe it or not, from representing you. So which is what? Which is fees, which they might take from the money that you are paying in, and it might take you even longer to pay off this debt. And the downside about it is you might see like you are paying lesser money, but you'll pay for a very long time. That means for that time you're in that debt review, you can't take any credit, you can't do anything, you are stuck here. So that would be the downfall of credit collectors and all of that consolidation. Another thing that is so bad uh, is you may get some money discounted directly from the creditors. But if it's done through debt collectors and all that, they might negotiate it on their behalf, and you will still pay the money that you think you are supposed to pay. But that side, they would pay maybe 30% less. They might pay even 50% less. But on your side, they will tell you to pay the money that you are paying. Whereas if you are talking directly to your creditors, you might negotiate another deal. You might negotiate another percentage. So that's another thing. They might be ahead of you and get that percentage, and then it goes to their company, and then you pay a lot though. So those are the things that are not good about debt collectors or debt consolidators. Now, this is my view. I know you might ask me, Msizi, would you advise someone to go under a debt review? Would you advise someone to take a debt consolidation? My advice, this is my personal advice. Remember, guys, I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm just a person who's sharing this for educational purposes. I would say don't take a consolidation at any point. Just focus on sorting out your finances. Please look at all the strategies that I've shared, these 11 strategies, and try to implement them. Don't take a consolidation loan. Don't be part under a debt review. It will take you longer. You'll think you are canceling all these different creditors, but you'll be surprised if you just call all of them one by one and tell them that, hey, I'm not doing very well right now. Can you please reduce the money? Can we please negotiate? Can we please do this and do that? Negotiate directly. These things that they are helping you with, it's something that you can do it for yourself. But people, they are so scared of creditors. And guess what? Creditors, they want you to pay however way that you can negotiate. Maybe the other problem is people do not know that they can actually negotiate the percentages. You can go to your creditors and tell them that, hey, I just got demoted. Hey, I just got a new baby or a new family member. Hey, I have this new responsibilities. I can no longer pay you the amount that I used to pay you. Can you please reduce the amount that I'm supposed to pay you? And hear them out. You can negotiate these things. Remember, they are also a business. They want you to pay. They want you as a customer. So it's all about the understanding. They will review a contract. So I wouldn't advise you to go for a a consolidation or a debt review. That is my personal view. I don't know who else you can listen to, but you can go around and search. I would think it does more damage than it helps you. But they are a business. It's up to you to make your own decision. And then lastly, I want now to explain the methods that you can use to pay off the loan, the debts that you have. I have three methods, as I said earlier on. So number one, it's a snowball method. How does a snowball method works? It works with starting to pay the smallest debt first. It doesn't mean you don't pay these other ones, but you focus your energy and you put more money on the first debt, which is the smallest, until you finish it. And then once you finish it, it gives you more motivation to then go to a second debt, put more money into that one, finish it, and then go to the the third biggest debt, the fourth biggest debt, and so forth. So you start with the smallest debt. This one is good for you, to see that you are actually finishing off these debts, and you can see that you are doing something. You get motivated, and you keep going, and you keep going. I would highly recommend this one for someone who is not doing very well, psychologically or mentally. They're stressed about all their debts. They just want to see some of these debts going down. I would highly recommend this one. All right, so let's talk about the second strategy, which is the avalanche strategy. In an avalanche strategy, you start paying off the biggest debt in terms of interest rate. You start with that one that has the biggest interest rate. It might be your personal loan, it might be a credit card. Pay that one off. The reason why you would want to do that, remember, when you kill the interest rate quickly, you pay even lesser. So start with that one that is bothering you in terms of an interest rate. And in fact, this is my favorite method, the avalanche one, because you quickly pay the one that you know it would actually save you more money to pay the debt that has more um, interest rates. I would encourage people who wants to save money and push as hard as possible to go for this one. And then let's talk about the last one that I call it an emotional strategy. Not too many people talk about this one, but I normally say, please pay the debt that bothers you the most. If you get someone who calls you non-stop, you don't even sleep at night because of that person, you have sleepless night because of that particular debt, please do it for your mental health. Please do it for yourself. It's no use to do all these fancy strategies and all of that, but emotionally you are dying, mentally you are dying. I highly recommend that people just pay the debts that bothers them the most. Just pay that, because now you can think straight. You can now start applying all these other strategies that we talk about. And also, don't run away from your creditors. Don't run away from people that you're owing. Remember, you willingly went to them and talked to them. Don't run away from Obama. Don't run away from whoever. Just talk to them that, hey, no, right now I'm struggling. I'm not doing very well, but I'm willing to pay you. Can you please give me time? I will pay you. And you'll be surprised how these people are so humane, and they would actually listen to you. They would be like, I hear you. Thank you for getting back to me, because now I was worried that you were quiet, or I was worried that you are running away from me. People, they just want reassurance. Companies, they want that reassurance. They want to, document things down. Please don't run away from your debts. Talk to people and then pay off your debts. Now we've come to the end of the episode. Thank you so much for being here and talk about debt management. Please check episode number 3. Tell more people that, yay, there is this episode called The Roots of Money that is trying to talk everything about money, that is trying to help people to make money, to invest, to save, to get out of debt, to start businesses, to grow their businesses, and all of that. Thank you so much for your support. I will see you on the third episode rather. Thank you. Cheers. Bye.